Hi there, students. This is the first in a series of movie-based tutorials to help you do your work in Flash. And what we're going to do here is start our first Flash file, and I'm going to take you through the steps of what you'll need to do to begin. So you're going to need to have logged into your Google Drive, which you can see I'm logged into my drive, and you're also going to want to have Photoshop open and also Flash. So here's my Photoshop and here is my Flash. Okay, so I'm not going to use this file. I'm going to go ahead and close this one so I can show you the whole process from start to finish. So I'm going to close this file. And I'm going to go to my drive and I'm going to find the file I need to download. So the first step after you have logged into your drive and you have Photoshop open and you have Flash open is to go and find your Photoshop document. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this student's Photoshop document and it should be right here. There it is. And I'm going to double click to find it, make sure it's the right one, and then yep, that's it, and I'm downloading it. And so the next step that I want to do once I've downloaded it is I want to find it and open it up in Photoshop. This is a pretty large file. Yours probably not this big, but for whatever reason this one's just really large. All right, so once that downloads, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show it in the Finder. So show in Finder, and then you're going to open it in Photoshop. So I'm going to take it and I can drag it down onto Photoshop. That's one way I can open it, but because Photoshop's open already, I should just be able to double click on it and that will open the file in Photoshop, just how I need it to be. Now the next step is I want to take the background, I want to put it in the animation. That's how you're starting out, is putting the background of your collage into the background layer of your animation. So as you can see, I'm going through all the layers here and I am turning them off so they're hiding, and I'm selecting the background. So that one is selected. The background is now selected. That has to be clicked on right like that. Clicked right on the name. Now I'm going to do select all, and you can see the selection border around the background, and I'm going to do edit, copy. Now it's copied. Flash is already open, so I'm going to switch to Flash, and I'm just going to go File, New, and it'll say ActionScript 2 or ActionScript 3. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to click OK. And there is the beginning of my Flash file. Now I'm going to do edit, paste. Paste and center is fine. And it's now putting in the background, which you can see is very, very large compared to the stage. This white square here, this white rectangle is called the background. So I want to resize this background artwork before I get started here. So I'm going to click on the transform button and making sure that this little constrain link is on. So this is what it looks like when it's off, and this is what it looks like when it's on. And then I can click and hold and drag and resize the background art. And I think I'm going to just leave it like that. That's pretty good. And I can see it's a little bit taller, but for my purposes of just showing you how it works, here I'll make it a little bit smaller. That should be fine. Okay, now right here I have what is known as my first keyframe representing the background art. And you're going to press on your Control key on your Mac and click on this keyframe. The black filled in dot is called the keyframe, and we're going to do what's called Create Motion Tween. If you get a message saying that your artwork has to be turned into a symbol, you'll just click OK, and I'll show you that. Okay, so now I have my animation started and it is really not moving yet, and I want to make it look like it's moving. So here I'm going to resize the background where the playhead is. I'm going to click on the transform tool, and again I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to resize this or move it. Maybe I'll just move it and make it a little bigger again. Maybe I didn't need to resize it. And now it's moving. It's moving from left to right. You might want to zoom it from big to small or from small to big or move it from left to right. But this represents 1 second of animation. So if I press the return key, you can see that's moving pretty quickly. So I want it to last 3 seconds long. And it takes this playhead 24 frames or small rectangles to equal 1 second. So if I want this to be 3 seconds long, I'm going to drag this over at about 75. That is a good rounding off place. And now again, if I put the playhead back or press the return key, you can see that the content is moving from left to right, and then it stops. If you want to test your animation, you can press Command Return, and you can see it's moving pretty quickly, and it'll just loop or replay over and over again. If I want to slow it down a little more, again, I can come down here to the timeline and put my cursor right on the edge and click and drag this over. And again, if I press Command and Return, I can see it moving. So for now, that's probably a good start for my animation. And I'm going to save it to my desktop. Very important. Save as. And I'm going to call it Ms. Rudner Flash, or Ms. Rudner _ animation is a better name. And where I want to make sure that it's saved is to the desktop. It is on the desktop, so I'm going to click Save. Great, there it is. The next thing I want to do is, if I'm finished for today, is I can close this because I've just saved it, and minimize Flash, and I can minimize Photoshop, and go back to my drive, and I want to upload this so that it's safe for the next time I want to work on it. So I'm going to go New, and then File, Upload, and there's my animation on my desktop, and press Open to move that animation from the desktop back up to my drive, so the next time I want to work on it, I'll know just where it is. And in your case, the next time you want to work on it, you're going to need to download again. You need to select it, download it, and find it. And I'll show you that in the next movie. But for now, let's start by creating the background and animating the background with your motion tween. Okay, that's it for the first movie, and I'll see you in the next one.